I'll start by talking a little bit about me and about CiiTECH and about how I arrived at this podium today. So as I was introduced, my name is Clifton Flack. I'm the founder of CiiTECH. I founded CiiTECH 3 years ago to deal with or address the need or the problem that we have in the industry whereby medical cannabis is a problem. Medical cannabis is a problem in countries that have implemented or tried to implement, and even more so, medical cannabis is a problem in countries that are trying to implement. I'll explain why. So I've spent the first couple of years of the industry in Israel, and Israel, as some of you might know, is known as the epicenter of cannabis R&D. Can I get a show of hands here? People have heard of Professor Meshulam. A few people have heard of Professor Meshulam. Professor Meshulam is an 88-year-old professor, Israeli. We can credit him with the discovery and isolation of THC, the endocannabinoid system, CB1, CB2 receptors. Almost everything that we know about the plant was either discovered directly or indirectly in Israel. There's some amazing stuff that goes on there. There's also a vibrant and dynamic medical cannabis patient program that we've had in Israel for about 15 years. For most people in the industry, they'll look to Israel as they're the pioneers of medical cannabis, to look at it as an example of how to write and roll out a medical cannabis program. The truth, however, is a little bit different. We started our program 15 years ago. There is currently 40,000 medical cannabis patients in Israel. There's currently 1 million CBD users in the UK. Now, this is a vast difference. 1 million users in the UK without a single line of legislation written, without a single doctor involved in prescribing, without a single pharmacist involved in dispensing. And yet 1 million people are enjoying the benefits, the health benefits of CBD. Now, 3 years ago, that blew my mind. I'd spent 2 years in Israel lobbying, fighting for more government reform, for more doctor involvement, because after all, as the mantra goes, cannabis is an important medicine, and doctors need to be able to prescribe this medicine to patients, which is amazing. And cannabis does do amazing things. No one's denying the power of cannabis or what it can do. The issue that I saw 3 years ago emerging, and 3 years on, things have not changed, is that if you call something medicine and you demand of the government to regulate it as such, then you have one option. They have one option, and that's pharmaceutical. And as excited as doctors might be, the truth of the matter is that doctors will not prescribe something without all the clinical data that pharmaceutical companies normally provide. How it works, why it works, what's the dosage, but more importantly, what are the side effects? What are the potential drug interactions if you're taking warfarin as a blood thinner? If you're taking statins because you've got high cholesterol? How's cannabis going to potentially interact with those medications? And the fact is, doctors don't know. We don't know. We know how amazing the plant is, but we don't research and we certainly don't admit what potential side effects there might be. And what we've seen in Israel and in other countries that have tried to emulate to roll out medical cannabis programs is that things get stuck. Things get stuck with doctors and pharmacists. And at the end of the day, we're all in this business because we want to help people. Is that right? I think everybody who's working in this industry loves the industry because the more money we make, the more people are healthy. And I say healthy and not healthy and happy because we're in England and not America, and there is no recreational cannabis here. And this is, I hope all of you appreciate that one of the beauties of the CBD industry is that it's all about health, pure clarity, no confusion. None of our customers are using or buying our products for a fun Saturday night out. They're only using it for their health. Which means if it didn't work, and that'll be the accusation leveled at CBD by the medical cannabis world, that you need THC. Without THC, it's not medicinal. Well, we in the industry know different. We know because our customers buy and buy again and buy again and buy again. And not because it puts a smile on their face, but because it helps them relieve whatever issue they're trying to relieve. So the key difference, or the key obstacle that I found 3 years ago when I decided to leave the medical cannabis world and move to the health and wellness CBD world is there's a fundamental difference in the marketing approach. And the marketing approach in medical cannabis is, here's a formulation or a strain, and this is going to treat pain. This is going to treat PTSD, anxiety. Everything is a strain or a formulation attached to a medical condition, like you would describe any other drug. In the health and wellness sector where we are, there's no medical claims. I presume you all know that. We're selling CBD as a food supplement or a cosmetic, so we cannot report on health benefits, which gives us, as business owners and as marketers, the single biggest challenge, because we cannot tell our customers what our products do. And more than that, there's no concept of strains or formulations. Yes, our formulation might be slightly different to somebody else's formulation, but we're all marketing our products as CBD, regardless of the entourage effect, regardless of other cannabinoids, regardless of whether it's an olive oil, an MCT, an e-liquid, doesn't matter what carrier oil, we're all selling CBD. And CBD is CBD, one molecule, single molecule. The same CBD in hemp is the same CBD in cannabis, it's the same synthetic CBD. It's all the same. So we're in a situation where there might be 100 different CBD companies here. We're all selling CBD. We cannot say why ours is better. So what do we do? Well, hopefully, from previous talks, and hopefully from this, we're going to learn how to build a CBD brand. Because building a brand, and I know I'm a 25-year marketer, not 25 years old, although I feel 25. I'm 25 years in marketing, and I know when you're building a brand, you've got one target, one single target. More than that, it's one word: trust. I've underlined it on the screen. We're all targeting trust, because whilst this is not sold as medicine, people are using it as medicine. People are using it for their health. People don't want to take risks with their health. Certainly when it comes to cannabis, which can be scary. Certainly in the UK, it's very, very scary. So how do you build a brand that people can trust in a world where you can't really talk about it? So what we did was, or we had the advantage, I guess, that 3 years ago, we're sitting in Israel, and all of our colleagues and competitors are these medical cannabis companies, and they're all involved heavily in research, and they're working with doctors, and they're working with institutions and hospitals, and they're proving, very altruistically, they're investing money to prove how good cannabis is. And it's that message that's going to help them sell. It makes sense. The issue for them is that they're all 2 years away. 2 years away, 3 years away from being able to prove, beyond doubt, their formulations work. Then they have to hope that doctors prescribe. We're in a different situation. But the logic stands the same. Why are you going to trust our CBD over somebody else's CBD? And I'll tell you what we do. We are a medical cannabis company, for all intents and purposes. We sit in Israel. We work with the Israel Medical Cannabis Nurses Association. We work with 3 of the leading hospitals in Israel. We've funded 2 clinical studies, one to investigate CBD for asthma, one to investigate CBD for fatty liver disease, which impacts diabetes and obesity. We have a pipeline of clinical studies that we're working on. We're giving back. We're trying to uncover and help understand how the plant works. Now, we can never use our research to sell our products. It doesn't give us an advantage on the shelf. We can't create marketing campaigns saying we're researching CBD for asthma, therefore buy our products. Not something we can do. What we can do is build our brand equity at the corporate level so that when customers are confused and they're looking as to which CBD brands they can trust, and they come to Provocan, and Provocan is our flagship brand. When you research Provocan, you're going to find all different things. You're going to find the formulation, you're going to find our lab reports, you're going to see how it's organic, you're going to see how we're quite well priced, you're going to see all those usual things, but you'll also find is that Provocan is powered by CiiTECH. And CiiTECH is a biotech company in Israel, and we're heavily invested in research. And we believe, and our customers are showing that we might be right, that that's how you build a brand that people will trust. Because we're not just organic. We don't put big cannabis leaves over our products. We certainly don't add flavors because we don't believe that medicine should be tasty. I know from my perspective, if you give me a packet of gummy bears or a bar of chocolate, I'm going to eat the whole lot. To consider dosing, medicinal dosing on a bar of chocolate or a packet of gummy bears, to me is counterintuitive, it's a misnomer, it's just simply wrong. So we don't get involved in all that kind of stuff. We position our products, and Provocan is designed, branded to look like it's the kind of thing that your doctor will prescribe and your pharmacist will hand out. And we've been very successful with that. I can tell you that right now we have approaching 40% repeat custom. People will argue that there's a placebo effect in all of this, that because we tell people that we're involved in clinical trials, because we tell people that we're in Israel, because we tell people we work with Professor Meshulam, the placebo effect is going to kick in and it's going to work better. Possible. I'm a marketer. We all know the placebo effect is real. I have no problem with that. If our customers report back that their anxiety level is reduced, that's fine. It could be placebo effect. It makes no difference to me because they're happy and they're going to buy it again. And they do buy it again. So earlier this year, we decided to take our brand experiments and take it to stage 2, which is to launch our second and our third brand. Our second brand is Impact CBD or Impact Wellness. And we partnered with James Haskell and Ben Franks, who are 2 world-class rugby players. James Haskell is the ex-England rugby captain, and Ben Franks is a 2-time World Cup winner. Now, they came to us because they've been using Provocan and using it for sleep. And they were blown away, and in their own words, they were blown away by the research we're involved with in Israel. They wanted to work with us to come up with a formulation that's good for high-impact athletes, as they are. And if you're here tomorrow, I hope you're all here tomorrow, at 1 o'clock tomorrow, you'll see me on stage here with James and Ben. And we're going to ask them exactly why they chose CiiTECH. We're going to ask them exactly why they want to get involved in the CBD industry and why they believe that Impact is better than the rest. We've also launched a brand called Hug. Hug is our women's lifestyle brand. It's been developed by women for women. It's a wide range. Our core product, same with Provocan Impact, the core product is the tincture, our oil, because after all, that's the most cost-effective way to get your CBD. But Hug is then complemented with a bunch of lifestyle products, like we have a CBD coffee, which would not fit under Provocan. We've got CBD tea, we have manicure set, we have pedicure, we have face masks. We have everything that a lifestyle brand you'd expect to get. And again, what separates Hug from every other lifestyle brand you'll see? And it's the same answer. When you do your research and you're looking at who's behind the brand and why that brand is better than what could be just 2 guys sitting in their garage formulating something, it's the company behind it. So we focus all of our marketing efforts at the CiiTECH level. It's CiiTECH that gives brand equity to all of our brands. And it's why today you'll see us, we're at booth J72 or J73. We're down there. You can come and try our brands, come and try our products. And tomorrow, come by at 1 o'clock and you'll see me on stage and you can ask James and Ben some questions yourself. If you have any questions for me right now, I'd be happy to do my best to answer them.
Do we have any questions from the audience? There we go. That was quick. It was quick off the mark on that one.
Thank you. Hi. You mentioned earlier on in your discussion that there were certain strains that were more suitable for treating certain ailments. Can you tell a little bit more about the strains that you think would be more suitable for particular illnesses or ailments?
No. Let me explain why. So again, this is a food supplement. We cannot sell it as a medicine. It's not a medicine. Medicine is something that's been heavily researched, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, double-blind, placebo, multi-site, multi-country, thousands of patients, and hundreds of millions of pounds. Without that data, nobody can give categoric proof that any strain or any formulation is good for anything. What I can tell you is what I believe. And I believe, again, I'm a marketing guy, so I learned many years ago Pareto's rule, 80-20. And I firmly believe that you give 80% of the population any strain, any formulation, and it will work. It will work well enough. 20% need something specific. The same way that, for the most part, medical cannabis, all the heavy lifting in medical cannabis is CBD. CBD is the anti-inflammatory. I'm not diminishing the power of THC. THC does some amazing things. But we know that 95% of all human disease either begins with or presents as inflammation. The human body, we're built to suffer from inflammation. It's why Nurofen, when they hit the market 25 years ago, went from nothing to everything. Because paracetamol masks pain, but Nurofen treats the cause of the pain. And it's the same thing with cannabis, almost exactly the same thing. THC for pain management is amazing, because you get stoned, and you forget about the pain. Easy. But CBD, in theory, treats the cause of the pain. So as far as strains for indications, I don't believe there's enough or anywhere close to enough information and real data to prove either way. The recreational market is something very different.
Any further questions? Anybody? Nope. Oh, one down the end, hang on.
Thank you. So you've mentioned with CiiTECH you have a lot of transparency, so talking about creating all this research and backing up your brands with research. Do you do anything customer facing for educating customers upon understanding where these products come from? Or again, is that a case of, we can't actually put the research on the retail products because it's a supplement? Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense.
Thank you.
Okay, so we've been working closely with the MHRA. Not voluntarily, but when they come knocking, you have to answer the questions. So we've been through a whole process with them of compliance on all of our websites. And I'll tell you, the final, I hope it was the final process we went through was on our CiiTECH website, where they said to us, you cannot put your claims, you cannot put the science, you cannot mention anything on your CiiTECH website. Wow. So our amazing legal team went back to them and said, look, this is ridiculous. The CiiTECH website is not selling a product. The Provican website, which is compliant and clean, sells products. There's no claims there. You can't tell us that we cannot talk about our own research on our websites. So we're a biotech company. We paid for research. This is what we do. Their answer was this. The fact that your website is a co.uk website, you can choose. They said you make a choice. Choose to talk about your research or choose to talk about your products. So our solution was to do both, but to move our website from co.uk to co.il. To the nth degree, the MHRA the nth degree is you cannot say anything. As far as actually gathering data and information from customers, that's much more interesting. However, opens up the same can of worms. We cannot go to our customers and survey them with health questions. We cannot survey them and report back to them or report back to the market about how they're using the product because it's health claims. So what we are doing, which is I believe is very unique, with our partnership with the Israel Cannabis Nurses Association, we're working with them to survey our customers. They can ask the questions, they can do the research, and not just we learn and we can benefit, but that data will be published for the entire market to benefit. The same as the research we've done. You can go online, you can find out the results of our studies for CBD for asthma and CBD for fatty liver disease. We're not looking for a pharmaceutical pathway. We're not looking to patent those results. We want everybody to benefit. I'm quite happy for every CBD company here to market their products based on the research that we've done. I'm happy to do that because I trust that the customers who do their research will buy our products because we did the research and not someone else's because they're jumping on our bandwagon. We're playing the long game. The short game, we all know. The short game is put a website up, make your claims, make a lot of money, and they get closed down. We're here for the long term.
Any more questions? Going once, going twice? Clifton, thank you very much. I think we're wrapped up for that one. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.